at Ross.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. And welcome to the Just Call It podcast. I'm here celebrating a good day, Sunday, September 12th, here in the beautiful Bay Area. I'm here with a special guest. I didn't not run by him by the fact that whether or not how I should introduce you. Do you want me to introduce you by your anonymous name, or you want me to introduce you by your first name?
I like my Twitter handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twitter handle.
I can.
Yeah.
So I'm on Twitter at Sideline Latino.
Sideline Latino, and
Yeah.
that means that he.
I'm a Latino on the sidelines, man. Yeah. I'm just a Latino on the side looking at. I have it on my bio, like boots on the streets.
Boots on the streets. That means he's got an ear. He's got an ear for things going on the streets right now. And, and you are Latino. See, I can't say much about you because it's like describing. So I'm gonna describe your clothes.
You can describe me, man. It's just
he's Latino. He's you're tall. You're like what?
I'm 5'11".
No, you're not.
I am, yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm almost 6 feet.
No, because I measured myself recently.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 5'11".
Are you?
And you're taller than me.
Yeah, I'm like, there's like a quarter for me to be 6 feet. So I'm like that much taller, probably.
No, dude. I'm 5'11 and a half.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I always maybe I slash, but I've always I recently went to go take a drug test for a job I'm trying to apply for, and they measured me. I'm 5'11 and a half.
Oh, okay.
So you're definitely like 6 feet. Be proud.
Yeah.
So now on all the dating sites, you can put 6 feet.
6 feet. But no, yeah, you. I mean, you could. Yeah. It's I'm a tall dude. And, yeah.
Tall, strapping guy. What else can we say? He has a hat on, just like everybody else.
And the
Bitcoin shirt. That's the big thing. It's the big B. It almost looks like when I first saw that symbol, I always thought it meant for just like a person who's really rich. They have, instead of using the S, they used the B for $1 billion. Right? Because they're a billionaire or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I realized that wasn't.
It's the B for Bitcoin, and they put 2 lines. I don't know why they did that.
It's clever. I mean, just like the symbol of money, right? You put the 2 lines through the S.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
That's why I said that was a billionaire. Bitcoin. You know, you're not just a normal person. You got the S. You moved that to the B.
To the B, yeah. What's that? 9 zeros? Or is that 6?
Yeah, no, 9 zeros. You're correct.
Yeah, 9 zeros. Yeah.
9 zeros with
like
my bank account with an 8 in front of those zeros. That's good.
Man, that would be nice.
I know it. So I know that here, Sideline Latino, your main thing on your Twitter handle is that you like talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is that like a passion for you? Is it a hobby? Is it like everything right now? What is it for you? Why are you so passionate about it in your Twitter?
Yeah, it's definitely a passion. So just kind of like taking it back. So I discovered it last year. I have a family member who's really into it. He had me buy some in January of 2020 when Bitcoin was like at 9K. Mm-hmm. In retrospect, I should have bought a ton more. Mm-hmm. So it was like I work in IT, and I was like, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like working in tech, but I'm like, I didn't really trust it at first. I'm like speculative, right? What the hell is this? Like, I went to, Bitcoin is so deep. I hope I can cover a lot of it, but I went to business school, right? And in business school, they teach you about the Fed, right? The M1 money supply, the M2 money supply, different things, right? They teach you about macroeconomics, microeconomics. They teach you about the central government. All I ever learned was the central government is it in the history of like humanity, right? The central government is the Fed, which is a private institution. It's not the government. I didn't know that. They're different. But the Fed controls the money supply, right? So I was just under the impression that those were the powers.
The Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve.
You're referring to the Federal Reserve Bank.
Yeah.
Which there's technically what 13 districts or something.
Yeah.
13, there's 13 of them. I used to actually I worked at one time because I used to build cubicles, and one of the things that you would do in the cubicles at the Federal Reserve Bank in San Francisco is huge, but they have an underground.
I work around there. I know where it is. Yeah.
Have you seen the actual pallets of money?
No.
Dude, they have pallets like squares, like
wow.
as tall as that trash can.
Yeah.
Over there, and square by 4x4, whatever, on a pallet full of $100 bills.
Wow.
And they're counting that, and then the security guard is watching them in each room.
Wow.
And they just have a vacuum that just drops the money.
Yeah.
And they just separate it by the district number or whatever.
Wow.
It's
that's
what they do with the money. I don't know why, but
yeah. Well, they're the bank, right? They gotta handle it somehow.
But they physically have to affect another around. Which your thing is the Bitcoin. You don't gotta do that shit.
Yeah, Bitcoin. So the US dollar, kind of taking it back to like, I guess, first principles. The US dollar used to be backed by gold, right? So that note, it used to say backed by gold or something, right? It was in the 70s where I think Ronald Reagan took that away, and it's not backed by anything now. It's just a piece of paper. So before
that's true.
Yeah, so
everyone's dollar was a way to the equal amount of what that government had in gold.
Yeah. That's not the case anymore. The dollar is backed by nothing. So that term for doing that is called a fiat system. I don't really remember what that stands for. I think it's like backed by the government.
Fake money, basically.
Yeah. And the counter argument is like, okay, it's not backed by gold, but it's backed by the government. Like the government's like military, and then really going to like the basics, it's really like backed by like the US military and roads and whatever the government,
what they do for us in return, I guess.
Yep.
Oh man, that's so
the
weird.
Circles I'm in. No, exactly. The circles that I'm in on Twitter, right? On the Bitcoin Spaces, which is a new thing. I learned so much in the books I've read, the Bitcoin Standard. It's exactly like that aha moment you just had is like you go back to like you really dig all the way down, and it's like it's backed by the US government basically, or by the US military. The US has like the highest budget in the world. We're only one world, right? China, Russia, we spend the most in government.
Yeah, that's for sure. Especially after like the crazy documentaries that obviously, sorry to sideline you.
You're good, man.
I had to sideline you a moment right there. I don't think since you never probably ever heard some of my podcasts, I'd make a lot of jokes. So you might get made fun of.
Okay, man.
A lot. I think the last person I interviewed, like the two people I interviewed, they were like, "Damn, I got set up."
That's cool, man. In essence, we're like getting to know each other too.
Yeah. And you're like, "Damn, this guy's an asshole."
Nah, man. My first, I know we got sidelined, but my first interaction with you was I was at school. And I was in.
We went to the pizza place.
Yeah, I was the director of IT, and I'm like, hey, like I do the IT for my club, and you're like, dude, you said to me, dude, do you also DJ on the side? Because all the guys that I know that DJ are in IT. So that was like the first joke, dude, when I first met you. I was like, I like this guy.
I just ripped you like, hey, you must be a DJ. That's good.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, I'm not a DJ.
Believe in that, 100%.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think the first time I met you, I had a suit on. Like I had a 3-piece suit on.
Yeah, what was that about?
My dad told me, actually, this is what I don't really remember why I had that suit on.
I think you came from somewhere, no?
No, I went to go to work, and my dad told me, like I was working with my dad, and he said, "Hey man, you gotta dress like whatever."
Yeah.
And I just wore that really bomb ass suit, and he started laughing at me like, "Dude, you don't gotta wear that." How you look like me walking around like, and then I just remember walking out, and I just looked ridiculous at your thing. But that was awesome. It was
great. I mean,
so
clothes
young
are communication.
Yeah.
Like they say, what you wear communicates like who you are. It's a non-verbal communication.
Yeah.
It's a good first impression.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a great first impression, but like, so let's say if you really know me and you're just like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I
in
knew
that
you were
city?
our age, so I was like, where's this guy coming from?
Yeah,
Like I knew you
exactly,
came from
right?
somewhere. Yeah.
But if I was like maybe 5, 6, 7 years older, you would probably like, oh, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you see like a kid, like a high school kid walking around in a bomb suit, you're gonna have questions.
Yeah.
You're like, you going to prom? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's awesome. That's a great first impression. Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I've told Jackie. I remember. Oh, is that cool?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Everyone actually, my wife did a podcast one time with me, so that's
how. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, my anonymity is more for just, if I don't know, just I'm opening myself up, right? Like I shared it with you. I'm gonna open it up to other people. Just because there's like tools in that are being built in the Bitcoin community that I want to share with people to help people's money make money. And in order for me to do that and to grow my influence, my sphere of influence, is to like actually like get people like you to and be on this podcast.
Right.
I share it with like, people I know so they can help me grow organically too.
So the Bitcoin thing,
Yeah.
like, I know that you want to remain anonymous because, which I really respect. I really wish I somehow remained anonymous somehow, like, or came with like a stage name.
Yeah, let's talk about that in privacy, because
Yeah,
those two things are related in the future of the internet and privacy. That's more or less like if my footprint can be a little less, I like that. I have nothing to hide. It's just the future is dark. The way I see it is like I think humans, and this is like me, what is it today? It's September 12th, 2021. I do think humans are a little pessimistic, like they have dark outlooks of the future.
That. Like, what do you mean? Like, what attribute of being human makes them pessimistic about what they're doing?
I don't know, man. Like when I was growing up, it was like we were all like in the world we live in, it's just like chaos and people like war. I mean, I did grow up during September 11th. And the future is like people don't help each other. Everyone's greedy, right? It's like I was a bad teenager.
I mean, well, not in age, but I mean, I think relatively you and me are around the same age. I know that I know for a fact that I was born in 1989. I mean, I don't know 100% if that's true, right? I don't know 100% if I was born in 1989, but I believe I was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like you believe your parents. Yeah.
You believe me. You're like, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, no shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the whole thing about the future is you don't want to have a footprint. I feel like in the future,
less of a footprint. Less
of a footprint.
Yeah.
Well, because there's no way of 100% limiting.
Yeah.
But I've always felt like in the future, like in 30 years, someone is going to build a program that they can just type in my name and all the pictures that I've posted.
It's already built. That already exists. All those things already exist. Like I was telling you previous to the show. Oh yeah. I mean, it'll find all the people with your name.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. I didn't let. Yeah, finish your thought. I didn't let you finish your thought. Yeah.
Somebody can have a program out there to type in my name, and they can literally see every single post that I've ever posted in my whole life.
I mean, it's hard. No, not every post, but you have to think of the platform. What you did on every platform, right? And then that platform, like Facebook, can see everything you've ever done. Every back.
Well, Facebook, right?
Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook. Yeah. Anytime you hit back, they have a metric on that. Anytime you hit forward, anytime you like a picture, anytime you like it and you unlike it, they have that info. Anything you posted is there. It's recorded forever. Yeah, okay, and that's like platform by platform. So I don't know if I don't think there's like an aggregate that can get all that yet. Because they're closed boxes, right? Like Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. Yeah.
But I feel like in the future, one day somebody can and will be able to like go on Google and maybe go on another program. Eventually, type in your old phone number. Someone might remember, like, man, I don't remember this person, but I have their phone number. And they'll type that up. And eventually, anything linked to that phone number will eventually, boom, like propose like everything you've ever done. I have a feeling that will happen, like, because that type of information is so valuable, of knowing somebody's history just linked to a digit, or let's say like you're set like a like a little scan, little IQ scan or whatever. Those little scan things you do when you go to the menu. It's just that type of information. I mean, you can do that now, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like there will be a source that, I'm gonna want to know that when I'm old, I can go ahead and go look at my old photos. And I want to show my kid like all my Facebook photos that I probably didn't even keep, which would be a nice memory. But eventually somebody will. I feel like that information is so valuable that I know that they sell that information to companies and marketing companies.
Yeah.
But I feel like one day it's going to be available to the whole public.
Yeah. Yep.
Just like technology for the government is exclusive for a couple of years, and then boom, we have it.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. I think you're thinking about like an AI, because you said program, and AIs are just programs that can do that for you, or a program. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, for sure. That's yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine that happening soon, but I think like a background check.
Oh yeah,
It would be like it's like a background check on this number, right? Like, how do I get all this information? Yeah.
When you open an account for Bitcoin, is it like anonymous?
Yeah, so people think that, right? Like, people use it for like buying drugs, or like washing money, or what do you call that? Like hiding, what they do.
Money laundering.
But to answer your question,
oh no, not money laundering, but yeah,
money laundering.
Washing money, but yeah,
money laundering. Yeah, it's the term. You're not really, but hiding it, right?
Yeah,
it's the concept. But opening an account, it depends to buy Bitcoin. Actually,
so let's really dig into this Bitcoin thing, because we keep getting sidelined, man.
No, wait.
You're sidelined.
To answer your question, like,
you just looking at you just makes me want to sideline me.
Yeah.
Just like want to let's talk about something else.
It's cool. It's so
it's
deep.
cool.
The rabbit hole.
It's so
is
anonymous.
So
we won't even end up talking about it.
yeah. Okay, yeah. But I do. There's this thing, and I'm gonna throw out terms. There's this thing called KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. So companies say like, it's a KYC company, right? So yeah, to purchase Bitcoin, there has to be KYC on everyone, unless the only way to buy it anonymously is peer-to-peer. So if you own some and you sell it to me, like we talk on Telegram or some encrypted chat, you sell it to me, then no one's going to know. And you just bought it like anonymously, because you just send it on my wallet and it's anonymous at that point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of like, well, as far as it's not really anonymous, right? If you do a transfer to somebody.
No, because they have both parties' information.
Transaction. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have an account. They have an account. They know, like, oh, this money was transferred here.
That's why everyone loves cash. But Bitcoin,
there's ways around it. Yeah. There's ways to be like cash. Yeah. It's the peer-to-peer. That's kind of dangerous, because how are you going to trust the other person, right?
With Bitcoin or with cash?
With Bitcoin.
True.
Like on the internet, right? Unless you were like, here's some cash.
Yeah.
Send me this amount of Bitcoin, and I could do that.
Which a lot of Bitcoin people do talk about the fact that, like, hey, if someone needs money instantaneously on the other side of the world, with no interest, with nothing,
no middleman,
you can just send that cash or that Bitcoin, boom, and it's there, and it's already equated to their value, right?
No, it's priced in Bitcoin.
Oh yes, that's right.
So all the fiat currencies, because we have USD, we have the Chinese yuan, you have the Japanese, I think, yen, I don't know, whatever.
The euro and all
you have the euro, which is like a piece of shit. Like the euro, I don't know, the UK, they're breaking apart, right? The whatever they call it, they used to be the superpower, but I'm sidelining. Yeah,
Commonwealth.
Yeah, but what's happening? No, it's priced in Bitcoin. That's a thing that it was hard for me to understand, that like it's priced in Bitcoin. It's not the other way around. All these different currencies valued at whatever, like.
Yeah, so all over the world, it's worth the same.
It's right now, Bitcoin is like 46,000, I think.
45,000. That's American though.
No. Oh, I see. Well, no. It's around there. So different exchanges, like if you see it in the euro, it'll be a little bit more per
Exactly.
Bitcoin. Yeah. Because of we're pricing it in dollars.
So the reason why it's so hard for some person to really kind of like, I guess that's kind of hard because anytime somebody looks at Bitcoin, they really want to turn it into something they can really use, right?
Yeah.
Until like you were talking about earlier when we were talking about with my wife that only certain places around the world are fully accepting Bitcoin as a way of currency.
Yeah.
And those places you were saying is El Salvador, Panama,
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Yeah. And there's some more coming down the pipeline.
What about the U.S.? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah. Okay. So recently there was this infrastructure bill that got passed, and they tried to loop in Bitcoin into there. Infrastructure pays for bridges, tolls, like infrastructure, right?
Mhm.
And so some old fucking folks at DC tried to slide in Bitcoin stuff because they're going to get taxed, because there's just like, oh, there's this mini industry that's like making shitloads of money for people and we're not taxing it, let's tax it. Well, the Bitcoin community is so strong that we and senators came out that actually understand Bitcoin, and we haven't even touched on that. They came out and said they tried to. Ted Cruz came out, Cynthia Loomis came out, like mostly Republicans, right? And they were fighting for amendments. Look, you guys are your verbiage. If this comes out, it's going to hurt Bitcoin because you're taxing it right the wrong way. Let's make it for what it is. And so what ended up happening was some old guy, I don't remember his name. I was watching it live. Like he wanted money. Hey, I'll accept it, but you have to give us all this money for the military. Not even related, military and
Just
Bitcoin, right?
Statement, yeah.
Hella, and like they were arguing, I remember, at the Senate floor, and then the other guy's like, no, I do not. It was like 3 times, and then so it's status quo. The infrastructure bill, I don't know when it takes effect. It got passed just because it's for infrastructure, right? And Bitcoin is looped in there, and it's really fucked up wording. And they're saying there's going to be like amendments for it to make it more clarified for what Bitcoin is, because then there's Ethereum, then there's other ones, right? And Ethereum is like proof of stake. Bitcoin is proof of work, where you actually have nodes distributed, right? Ethereum is like just software that anyone can control. Bitcoin is decentralized. Yeah, the U.S. is confused, but oh man, this is good. So I'm gonna mention log scale. There's this guy.
This is good because okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Let's stay where you're at.
Yeah.
Because right now we're at.
There's a lot there.
Because right there alone, we have Republicans standing up, or just any government senator, whoever, standing up for us, and it's becoming a question of will this be a U.S. currency? Okay, let's stay right there.
Yeah.
You were talking about Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other stuff, I know that there's some new things out there for like blockchain type of things, where apps that are starting to allow people to buy coins still, or no?
Apps that allow, so okay, so you said blockchain.
Is blockchain NFTs, or that's like totally different? Blockchain have to do with crypto?
Yeah.
Or Bitcoin?
So no, it's cool. This is great. So you mentioned NFTs, you mentioned blockchain, and you mentioned crypto.
Let's stay away from NFTs.
So crypto, we have to define what these things are. So crypto stands for cryptography, right? So when you send money, it's cryptographically. So we use it. The crypto is like the industry, right? Includes Bitcoin, right? So crypto just stands for cryptography, because every time you send it, it's encrypted, right?
Okay.
And then you said there's blockchains. So yeah.
Hold on. Let's explain that to someone else.
Yeah.
In layman terms, because the only people that probably listen to my podcast is me, probably you, and my mom and my wife. So
yeah,
when you send encrypted,
yeah.
When you say encrypted, what does that mean? Like when you say you're sending encrypted, what does that mean?
Yeah, great question. So it's I haven't actually looked into the type of encryption, but I do know this, that it uses SHA, I believe 256, which is military grade encryption. And we're talking like,
but what is encryption mean? Like just so people don't have any trace of where this money came from?
That's a great question. No. So when I send it from my, well, like the way I understand it, is that when I send it from my wallet to your wallet, and this is really good to know. When it goes through the network, it's I guess cryptography, right? It's the yeah.
Technically, from what I'm understanding, if you sent a Bitcoin to me,
Yeah.
and then I sent a Bitcoin to someone else, and you said it's encrypted, that specific Bitcoin is going to have a number.
Yes.
And
So
that Bitcoin is going to have an encrypted message that eventually, through time, will be an extremely long encrypted message saying where the first transaction began.
so
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
so you're on it. So you said, I think where it began, that's the blockchain.
Mhm.
The encryption, you know that number? Have you seen those numbers?
No.
Like a QR code.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
QR code.
And then there's numbers, right?
Mhm.
Let's just use that as an example. Those numbers, because on the block are encrypted. So only my wallet can unencrypt it, right? So when I send it in the blockchain,
That's why you need a wallet.
when I send it, when I send it in the blockchain, you can see, oh, this wallet sent it to this wallet, but you'll never know what those numbers mean because it's in military grade, like SHA 256
message.
message. So you need quantum computing to break that. That doesn't exist in human
And
experience right now.
and that ultimately will figure out the equation or whatever that those numbers of the message where it came from.
Yeah. When it goes to your wallet, I don't know the unencrypting process, but you know, when it goes to your wallet, okay, that's the receiver. It's in there. It's in the code. So okay, this is where it's supposed to go. And then you get it.
Is that supposed to prevent like some type of like security system so people don't like fraud?
Yes. So when my money's on the blockchain, I don't want you taking my money, right? So it's encrypted. So only when it gets to the intended person, it's their money.
Wow. So would you say that's the ultimate kind of purpose of Bitcoin, or like that's just like one of the best attributes about it, that it's very hard to, would you say it's very, is it easy for someone to hack your wallet and take your money?
No. No. You need quantum computing, which does not exist.
So anybody in this world can walk freely, because
yes,
if let's say this, like if you have a good amount of money in a bank, like even in a safe, right?
Yeah. Now you're talking my language. Huh?
So like, you know, the FDIC only insures you a certain amount of money. If you have whatever, they only insure you 250,000. That's they got the plaque right there everywhere.
Yeah.
We only insure you $250,000 if this bank for some reason gets like, we go bankrupt, and or if this bank gets robbed, that's a much will just assure you.
Yeah. Imagine if you have 500,000, you just lost half of it.
Yeah, but you would have to have 500,000 if the bank went bankrupt. I'm sure you only that. Also,
have it in different banks.
And they have different banks. Or if you had valuables inside a safe and someone did take that, they can only insure you physical money.
Yeah.
You cannot replace what was in there, whether it was a valuable, a ring, or whatever, because that's our value to it, right?
Yeah.
Which is different that has something to do with NFTs, which I really want to get into the NFT thing, because I feel, because I love art.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna be so insane to walk around and just have like your most unique picture on your phone, or like image or GIF, and just be like, fuck you, I got this one. I swear to God, that's gonna be a new thing. But
yeah.
But okay, let's get back to okay, we were talking about the banks and like so that's one of the cool things about Bitcoin, that
you said the attributes of Bitcoin. You were on the attributes.
That you can't really get hacked.
Nope.
You can't. You're just saying 100%.
100%. It's not hackable. That's why it's cool. 56,000 per Bitcoin. It's not a game. Like, it's people are putting money into it because it's proof of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking we kind of figured out the encryption, you know, kind of like the basis of what this means, and
these are good questions. Yeah.
And how it kind of related to now, why is that even needed? What's encrypted and what's that? Because it's actually leaking to not getting hacked, which is a very great attribute of Bitcoin. Okay. Now, we're talking about senators fighting for us in the United States to eventually make it a currency. Let's talk about the countries that are using it as a currency today.
Yeah, El Salvador.
Okay,
100% El Salvador.
I have blood of El Salvadorian in me. What do you do? What's going on with that? Do you just take a credit card? Do I just put my phone over the something? Because El Salvadorians don't got no machines, dude. They got
Yeah.
guns, bro.
Yeah, no, I know.
Serranos,
Yeah.
MS-13, bro.
Yeah, I know. And El Salvador in English stands for the savior. It's the fucking irony of
Damn,
of
that's true.
El Salvador, El Salvador being, I mean, in Spanish, it's like El Salvador, that's the savior. Like I feel in Spanish, it has the you feel it, right? El Salvador.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
That's cool that you said that. I just thought it was a nice name.
Yeah. Oh, well, interesting.
Salvador.
Yeah, the savior. I think it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
okay.
in El Salvador, how do you, so the only country for that it's currently legal currency is El Salvador. Other countries have adopted crypto as legal, so they're more friendly. They don't, they're for it and they're building on it. And pero El Salvador. So so September 7th, a couple days ago, it became legal currency, and it was passed in June, I think. Nayib
September
Bukele
7th of this year?
of just a couple days ago, it became legal
Damn.
currency.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. And so the president is Nayib Bukele, right? And he did it, I think it was June. I was on that Twitter space when he joined with Nick Carter.
Nick Carter is on Bitcoin.
You know who Nick Carter is? Oh yeah,
the brother of one of Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys.
Oh no. No, this is some other guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, I don't know. There's like so many podcasts and stuff now. Like maybe you're onto maybe you're onto his work, and I'm not even onto.
No, I just know Nick Carter from. I just know one Nick Carter.
No, if we're, because you want to talk about Salvador, but if you want to talk about celebrities endorsing, so Tom Brady, Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, he's got it. He got really big on it.
The other day.
He just made his own NFT.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, he came up with NFTs too. I want to get that one because it has an exclusive image. Even Tory Lanez is an artist who got on the NFTs. He sold I don't know if you know about the Tory Lanez rapper who did the NFT. So he sold 1 million copies at $1 each NFTs. So of his album. So only 1 million people have that music, right? Like no one else. And you can't even I guess you can show it to somebody, but you can't really I think here's the NFT.
The way I understand NFT, and we'll talk about El Salvador, but just kind of the way I understand it, because I don't understand it very much, but I do kind of know about it because I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. Once you get into the space, and then those things are they're projects, right? But the way I understand it is when you mint an NFT, then if someone sells it, the original person gets money. Always.
That's if you want to put the royalties, which typically everybody always does put the royalties. Yeah. Some people don't put the royalties on it because they can sell it at a maximum more amount of money for bid. So when I was getting into the NFTs, I was looking more into it because I wanted to actually make one of my own. Yeah. Because I have a lot of art. Yeah. And shit to say and random poetry things that I think would be a great image, just to have. And if someone I've always wanted to put a very intimate suicidal note on an NFT. Wow. Because Kurt Cobain, that's a Kurt Cobain shit, right? Or things like that, or an exclusive thing that nobody will ever see. Whatever. Porn stars will probably get to that shit in the future. Who knows? Yeah. But what I'm saying is I got totally sidetracked by the porn stars. Damn, imagine the fucking.
Yeah, that was weird. Me too. My head was like, well, that's interesting. What are they gonna be doing?
Dude, one-offs. Yeah. So the royalties, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, the one-offs. If some girl just sends you whatever, or
NFT ever self.
If you got one guy just a special NFT of him just jerking it, and everyone's like, yeah, man, I got Steph Curry's only NFT of jerking this. It's oh wow, yeah, exactly.
That's scary.
That'd be scary, but worth a lot, buddy.
Yeah, that's a dark world. That's why I'm the pessimistic a little bit, because the internet, the network effect of the internet is dark.
That's what I'm saying.
It can take off in this dark way, yeah.
Because people are sitting at home, and I look at the internet. It's cyborg, but you're looking at the internet as like just
Damn.
like an object, but now when you put it in the hands of a human, you're talking about good and bad.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
an NFT can
I got
be a good thing as it is now, but
Yeah.
eventually, once normal folks like us, well,
Just
me,
mint them on your phone or something.
yeah, you mint them on your phone. You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want. Then you could just put your flavor on it, and now
Yeah.
you got whatever. But back to NFTs, like you're saying about the royalties, like Mark Cuban, he sold like his for $25 each at like a 50% royalty, like an extremely high. People are selling them. Like the guy Tory Lanez, he sold them at $1 each for each album. He put a royalty on it. I don't know how much he did. So if people resell that NFT, you know, he sold 1 million copies only. He sold them all. He sold out.
Yeah.
So if you sell 1 million copy album, you're automatically, I think, golden or platinum record. So that alone is great. And on top of that, he made $1 million. And on top of that, he has royalties on every NFT. Forever.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And not just him, his family. Unlike, I don't know how it works in
yeah,
Hollywood right
true.
now, but the thing that's the value proposition that that's the value proposition that everyone is like going bonkers about, that NFTs is like forever. His grandchildren's children, and unless they enact laws, will be benefactors of those royalties. I mean, that is if the music is still,
wow, man. So
but if that music is used in a movie and that movie is NFT'd and used, I don't know, bro, then you're still fucking getting like a small couple penny. I don't know, man. That's what blows them away. Yeah.
Hold on, let's get back on the
Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin. Okay, El Salvador, we're gonna get there. But then the one thing I was about to say is that I've always imagined that Bitcoin, once I heard about this, no matter what, it's like the first thought that came to mind, it's gonna have like that old money stock person effect where your kids or your family or whatever, like 3 generations are gonna be billionaires if Bitcoin continues to be this monster.
I think billionaires probably. Let me think about it. So we're 2021, right?
I mean, we're talking 3 generations. We're talking 30, almost 30, 50 years from now, because one generation is almost 20 years. You know, a family.
Yeah, no, I'm seriously thinking about it, because they're projecting Bitcoin to hit 100K by the end of this year. If not 150, 100K.
And then they're just going to proportionally double it, you know, whatever. So let's say not billion, millionaires, right? For sure, millionaires.
Millionaires, people are projecting Fidelity. You know Fidelity, right?
Yeah.
They projected, I think by 2035. Man, my numbers are. I should have looked all this up. I think 2035. We're in 2021. That's 14 years away. Yes. They're projecting it to be at $1 million per Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's 46,000.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're just saying 15 years, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just want to buy some, right?
And
I just want to buy one, or well, buy one is 46,000.
No, you could buy some. You could buy $25 worth if you want.
Okay.
People think you have to buy a whole.
$25 worth with that equation.
Yeah.
We're looking at 46,000 currently to move up to $1 million. That's almost like, I don't know, 800% increase.
Yep.
Because it's not like 100%. Yeah, it's not like $1 million.
It's pretty astronomical.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 800% increase. An 800% increase to just $25. You're looking at not more than $1 million, but you're looking at a lot.
Yeah, you're 15,000. I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
Yeah,
from 25
maybe even
bucks.
50,000. From like 50,
yeah.
Or maybe even close to 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're talking about in just 15 years. That's retirement money to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you're telling me all I need to do is spend like $25.
Damn. So yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Just to look at a Bitcoin to become retirement money in 15 years.
Yeah.
Like 100K.
Yeah, it seems almost unfathomable in my brain right now.
Like, if you're like, that's what I'm saying, understanding from these equations that you're saying, that if all I had to do was buy $50 of this shit, and I could work at some lame ass fucking job for the next 15 years and maybe save that money. Yeah. And just don't even do shit with my Bitcoin. And in 20 years, finally I'm ready to retire.
Hodl it, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm not ever sell it.
Yeah.
Ever. I literally believe.
You're already talking like a Bitcoiner. Yeah.
Well, I have that mindset. Like I know I fuck with stocks. I've fucked with things like that before. I've bought them, I've sold them, I've traded them, and everything I've learned from it is that nothing beats sitting on it.
Yeah.
Nothing beats, and that's one of Warren Buffett's biggest thing. A lot of people don't know that Warren Buffett was completely poor. He didn't become rich till he was like 60, 50 years old.
Yeah.
Because he bought stock and just sat on them for fucking days.
Yeah.
But like the way you're telling me, and just like the opportunity that I see in just this Bitcoin alone, and let's say that the United States never makes it a currency. I don't give a shit about that. I see that other countries will, and a lot of those countries are retirable.
Yeah.
And if you tell me that if I just spend $50 on Bitcoin, and in 20 years, I'm going to have, let's say, $200,000 worth of money, or let's say $200,000 worth of Bitcoin, but in currency to us, you're saying one Bitcoin.
Well, 200,000
at
today's dollars.
Yeah,
it's the same conversion. Yeah.
And then I take that to El Salvador, though,
but
my money goes even bigger because they got like Cordobas over there. They don't even do dollars.
Yeah. They actually it was the Venezuela, the Bolivar, I think it was, but their money went to shit, so they were literally based in dollars.
So
they had their force, their dollar, their whatever. I don't know, maybe. But I think it went to something else.
It might have. Whatever.
But right now that went to shit because of inflation, and it's $1, and now it's Bitcoin 101.
And so boom.
Pero El Salvador might be too expensive for you because they're using
Bitcoin.
So you might be richer in America because America's turning into a third world country, just from what they're doing. Because of inflation,
that's a big statement.
UBI.
That's like a whole other conversation. Whoa.
Yeah, I get that because we have all this infrastructure and everything, and there's. Are
you just saying what they're doing business-wise is gonna make businesses like really get the fuck out of America?
I mean, so what happened? Well, if America and the trajectory we're at right now, America is just a lot of old people running the government. They don't understand Bitcoin.
They're gonna die, dude, in 30 years.
Yeah, and these new senators, like Bitcoiners, are gonna vote them in. I will vote them in. Like I want like a stable currency.
Don't you think that's kind of scary how easy it is to vote somebody in that you like because they like one thing? Because Ted Cruz is a dirty dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't want to vote somebody in. I think that's like a lot of people underestimate how we got Trump in. Trump just seemed like such an aggressive dude or whatever the fuck. Just like likable fucking asshole. Because he was just entertaining as hell. And then all of a sudden, like we realized, or half the people realized that whoever hired him in, like, damn, this guy's an asshole. Like this guy's literally like a retard too.
Yeah.
He's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But he has some good points, right? Sometimes to be good in business, you got to be an asshole, right?
Yeah.
Which you got to be ruthless. You got to fire people. You got to tell people what's up, which I 100% respect.
I mean, the guy was a puppet for big money. The people in government are puppets. The people with power, like the bankers, Rothschilds. Nah, he's a puppet, man. He's a showman. The people with real influence who understand how to influence people, the keyword being influence, without them even knowing, those are the people with power, my opinion.
Yeah, Warren Buffett. I think Jeff Bezos, but even though he's just has so much money, it's just like he literally looks like he's playing with it in front of millions of people.
Yeah,
but yeah. Go ahead.
No, it was there was so like back to the topic of Bitcoin, and just to make it like in layman's terms, so like in El Salvador, how are they using it, right? So on September 7th, it became legal currency. So all the las empresas, all the businesses, they have to accept it. So McDonald's, Starbucks, Pizza Hut, they have a little like digital board that says $1 buys you this much Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is like let's say Bitcoin is like $1, and then los centavos, the cents, are satoshis. Okay. So you can break down Bitcoin into satoshis, right? Okay. So they price like $1 buys you like 2,000 satoshis. That's more or less the conversion right now. So yeah, they can use their credit cards.
Which is the last name of the inventor.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah. Okay.
Of the Bitcoin network. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's no symbol for it yet. It's like an S. Like this, I don't know whoever genius came up with it. Like money, like you just said, the B with the two, the S with the two lines. I think the Satoshi more or less, like centavos usually is like a C with one line. It'll probably be an S with one line. I was reading on the internet, no one really, El Salvador might come up with the symbol for it because no one has come up with it, right? Anyways, so in El Salvador, companies have to accept it by law. By law, Tesla has to accept Bitcoin by law.
Well, yeah, if any company has a business out there, they're gonna have to start working with that.
Yeah, and what that's doing is that it's growing the Bitcoin network because they had to ask engineers, how the fuck do we make this shit work? We don't know what Bitcoin is, so they had to pay Jack Mallers and all these people building out the Lightning network for Bitcoin to integrate it, like ACH, like so a common something you can relate it to is like the credit card companies use ACH, and I don't even know their archaic systems. So they have to, these guys have to come into these companies as consultants, I don't know, and tell them this is what you do, this is what you set up, here's a terminal. They're using at Starbucks, they're just using a Starbucks phone. I saw there's videos on Twitter, right? The Starbucks person, okay, this is how much it's going to be for a caramel frappuccino. It was whatever Americano, whatever he ordered. The Starbucks person wearing the green apron, and he was like, okay, ya está, gracias, right? It was at a legit Starbucks in El Salvador. You see the little conversion. That's how they're doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, and building that infrastructure in Salvador is slaying it. No one had seen that. I hadn't seen that. Like all the podcasters, there's Peter McCormick. I don't know if you know about him. He just got huge because he actually went to the ground when the president made it legal. He went there, started taking pictures with people at Bitcoin Beach, and then he just
Bitcoin Beach.
So that's where it started. There was this engineer called Jack Mallers. He was a surfer. It's all like So he Bitcoin's been around since 2009.
Obviously, right? It's business people with money, tasting the waters, right?
And
then they eventually got hooked on it.
Yeah. So Peter McCormick, he's a podcaster. I don't know much about him, but I think he saw an opportunity, like after it was enacted into legislation.
So cheap.
Okay. Yeah, and he just flew down there, and everyone was looking at him. He blew up because he had actual pictures with people. He created relationships. He actually met Nayib Bukele. Basically all the people. That's the president of El Salvador.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy who was there because El Salvador was like literally a dump in terms of like their government and their money, right? El
Salvador was looking for anybody to come in and somehow economically turn it around.
They're comparing him to Venezuela's guy, the tyrant. Well, we're getting into politics, but they're calling him a tyrant because Bitcoin is political. Hugo Chavez. So they're comparing him, and I every time I hear that name, I think like, okay, bad. I think bad. I don't know why, because that's what we were conditioned to, right? But these people, they're trying to help their country, right? They're trying to help their country, and so they compared him to that, right? That's what you call like fear, uncertainty, disinformation. But like I'm Latino, bro. Okay, first and foremost, like you, right? And I want like what's best for my family, the people I know in Mexico. I have family, even for El Salvador, for everybody, right? And sometimes like corporations, this is political. It gets political. Like they're trying to save the water that falls from the sky, so it goes to the bananas, right? So we can have fresh bananas here, right? How is a corporation going to tell people you can't collect water in buckets? Because I don't know where that happened. I think it was in Salvador, Colombia. They told them, and the local people rebelled against it. They're like, "Fuck you, fucking corporation! This is water from the sky. This is free, right?"
Yeah, nobody likes a corporation. I always kind of relate that to like America going into Afghanistan.
Yeah,
it's like kind of like a major corporation or any country walking into.
It's big business, 100%.
It's a big business walking in and telling a city, especially a city, what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
and they're so big that no one person can do something about it.
Yeah,
but okay, El Salvador is inheriting this thing, and now it's legal, and people are buying Starbucks, they're buying KFC, they're buying corporations now. Maybe in the future people are going to figure out how to buy even like just general groceries and shit like that in El Salvador. This makes me believe, as somebody who's looking at it, is it's going to have everybody from all over the world with Bitcoin rush to El Salvador to invest.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's awesome. That's what's happening. People are calling that out. Yeah, that's not just El Salvador, but they're keeping an eye on it.
Because
And
honestly, you will have a rush of people looking to make businesses, invest in a business.
so the president said, if you have 3 Bitcoins, you can move here and I'll give you free residency. This is so happening so fast, right? I've considered it, right?
What?
Yeah. I mean, 3 Bitcoins is a lot of money.
Well, yeah, you're talking in American
Because he
dollars,
wants-
you're talking $120,000.
he wants entrepreneurs to come in and grow it, right?
Well, yeah,
And that's why. And Bitcoin is El Salvador is
it needs
gonna
that.
blow up.
I mean, you're gonna have San Salvador, which is the main capital. It's already kind of like it's a decent city, even though it has a lot of gangs and stuff like that. If you have somebody like tons of investors coming in, you can get a group of people, build a building, build a skyscraper, build a hotel, work on some tourism, open up a business there, which I don't know what they'll want to do there, but if somebody has a business and say they want to open up what's another corporation that could really move into El Salvador and make it a rich, it's an honest company and move in there and it's good. I really don't want an IT company in El Salvador. Like it's crazy that you're bringing that up, and it almost makes me like, if it's such like a good opportunity, like I really want that country to thrive. And like, because I know if El Salvador becomes a country that's it's right next door to another country. I'm also from Nicaragua. I'm not from there, but my blood's from there, and it's like, that'd be great, and then you start seeing this epic wave of new Central America, new Americas almost.
It's not just as like, I think that Nicaragua will be they're watching, dude. The whole world is watching. The whole world
Nicaragua's
is watching
fucked.
El Salvador.
I think Nicaragua's fucked. They got really bad government right now, but okay.
The whole world is watching El Salvador. Chinese, they're talking in Chinese to each other about El Salvador. They probably say, whatever, El Salvador, whatever, right?
Right.
Like the whole world's looking at El Salvador right now. And I think Nicaragua, if they're next door, like
Fuck yeah,
la
man.
gente, like the people like me and you are like, maybe not the government officials because they're corrupt, right? They're taking all the money or whatever. But people like me and you are gonna buy it. So
Dude, Mexico was into that shit.
it's redistributing the wealth from, you have an opportunity at this moment right now to buy, to get from the rich. This is only going to happen once, I think, in like the last 700 years when banks were formed.
So this just occurred to me.
Mexico.
Now that Bitcoin's out,
Yep.
let's say I'm a narco.
Yep.
Right. I have billions of dollars for drugs.
Yep.
And I sold it. And finally this money has come to me. Let's say I go down to El Salvador and I want to buy
You can.
fucking shit ton of Bitcoin.
You can. You can buy it right now. You don't need to go to El
That'd be
Salvador.
such the most easiest money laundering thing in the fucking world.
Yeah.
You don't even need to make a fake business. You can literally just sell drugs in the United States where they, a key of cocaine's value just jumps up 200, 500%.
Yeah.
And let's say you fucking sell that.
Yeah.
And then you take that money, you live in El Salvador, and oh my god.
Yeah, you're comparing it to, and then the value of Bitcoin goes up. You're gonna just be really well off. And then at that point, you don't have to be a drug dealer anymore. Your kids will go to good schools, and you become hopefully a contributor.
You would literally your life would 100% turn around.
Yeah. Yeah, and so good and bad is relative, right? At that point.
Do you think there can eventually be like an evil entity in like Bitcoin in the future?
Well,
like
it's
almost?
decentralized, and Bitcoin maximalists fight against that. But Bitcoin is decentralized. Like what you own. A bank doesn't own it. We didn't touch on that. So on evil people, right, and decentralization, the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum is that somebody controls that. They control how much Ethereum exists. On Bitcoin, no one controls it. In the code, there's only 21 million.
Right.
Bitcoin's only 21 million. So you have infinite money of the world. Yen, dollar, bolivar, whatever. It's going to go into only 21 million. That's why Bitcoin's going to go to a million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or it's going to go.
The value of each one's going to just astronomically event.
Imagine
all infinitely amount.
All those whatever dollars, yens, whatever is going to go into Bitcoin, and it's just going to go. Yeah.
It's almost like a DAO. I've always seen it like the stock market because it's so relatable. I don't know why, but it's so.
That's relatable. How you relate it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the DAO, NASDAQ. They control huge entities within the NASDAQ. I mean, one DAO is worth $1,000, or NASDAQ is like 1,000 something or whatever. If you look at their portfolio and all those things, there's some major companies in there. So it's like getting like an awesome deal, but it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But and then that case, it's just that stock is always, you can never really buy one unless you go with Robinhood and you get a percentage on a fraction of the cost, or $1 a month, which is a lot of money on the stash app. And then and if you buy a little bit of that, like Dow, you can get a little percentage, but you won't really 100% own one, right? Like that's the same thing with Bitcoin. But it's so crazy that, obviously you won't get the interest. You're not really 100% affected by a market, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
You are. So let me answer that for you. So 24 hours. So Bitcoin is 24 hours. So the market closes on Fridays, right? The markets that we've created from the old legacy finance systems, they close on Fridays, right? At 4 p.m. EST, right? 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. 2 p.m. our time. No, at noon our time, which is what, 3 p.m. EST? Yeah, that's when they close. Bitcoin and the markets that are going to be created, the new NASDAQs and SAPs are going to be like, they're calling it like Coinbase is like going to be it. They're already there. They have it. Bitcoin, you can open your Coinbase app and you can buy a trade right now on a Sunday at last 10 or whatever.
Yeah. Whenever the hell you want.
Yeah. So the paradigm shift is here. On like, it blows me away to say that and think about it, but it's here already.
I love that because
it's a paradigm shift, upside down. Fuck these old legacy markets, right? Like it's not going to collapse because you have retired folks who, I mean, we'll see. It's going to be people like
a lot of people, dude. A lot of people are retiring early, man.
Yeah, I want to be one of them.
A lot of people are figuring out ways to retire early. Got options there, and a lot of people can choose the means they want to live life. Do they want to live lavish? Do they want to live, chill? Do they want to move? I think the opportunity, to me, I think, as we move towards, we can always have invisible borders, right? You separate United States and all that. We need that. Some reason that's good. People need their space. I always thought that. And wherever you live, that sucks too, right? Depending where you're born, you don't control that, right? You're just born into this world and boom, you don't really know where you're gonna end up. But damn, that sucks. Text.
Ruin your train of thought. You're talking about invisible borders.
Yeah, invisible borders, but you got to have invisible borders with financial institutions. I think when you have the ability to trade, the ability to capitalize on everybody's resources all over the world, that's the way to do it. And with Bitcoin, that completely does that. Because I want to be able to make business with somebody across the world at any given moment. Because Instagram is so easy for me to hop in, and like, what happens one day? Some guy talks to me like that's just rich and shit.
Yeah.
Or celebrity.
I talk to rich people on Twitter. I asked him about taxes in Nevada, and he told me I don't get tax. I literally was Googling. I couldn't figure it out. I sent him a message. He replied to me. This guy, just an example. I won't call him out. I mean, why not? It's Mike Alfred. He's very, very proponent of Bitcoin, and he helped answer solidify a question for me. And then the people that follow him are fund managers, like like legit $500,000 billion dollar, right? Important people, or people with influence and stuff. And he answered my questions like, I don't get taxed in Nevada. There's like no income tax. You do, and no capital gains on state tax.
I think they have a stiff death tax.
But they do have they do have a capital gains. I found out as of this morning, they do have a capital gains tax on federal. So you still pay a federal capital gain. You can't run away from that. Anyways, I found that out from, like you said, Rich Dude. But no, you were on a. I interrupted you.
No, sorry, you're good. I'm just saying, like, having invisible borders to be able to make business with someone at any given time, like you said, like the stock market closes at a specific time, and maybe a strategic move to make a strategic trade at that time. I hated that because you wanted to sell your money and you needed the money right away. And that's the desperateness of investing and all that stuff.
Bitcoin fixes that. You gotta wait for all this bullshit, because I could send it. I'll send you Bitcoin today. actually. I can send you a little. I can
No,
send you.
no, no.
We can do a proof of concept. No, I want to. I'm gonna help you open a wallet. I'm gonna send you a wallet that I
Help
really
Jack,
like.
help my wife open a wallet. She'll probably explode with glee, dude. Because
Yeah,
I want to get into it because of just what you said. I just hear so much things about it, and there's just like I'm a debater, so I love debating with people and figure out, what is this guy trying to say? Is this worth? And
Yeah.
I just use my common knowledge and be like, I don't know about that. But it's really hard to argue Bitcoin. I tried doing it not too long ago, like to try to figure out like if there's I don't know if it's gonna take off type of shit, and it's like I don't know, more people keep buying and buying into it.
So if your like fear of, okay, is this shit gonna work, right? Trepidation towards it. The one I had, because I had a lot, like why the fuck is this, right? If there's a bug in the code and it just fucks up the Bitcoin network, then everyone's gonna lose all their money, right?
But what I mean by the bug is like basically, let's say some news comes out like the owner of Bitcoin is a rapist.
Owner of Bitcoin. There's no owner.
Or whatever, the guy who made it, right?
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Like he's like, no one knows who he is or whatever. He's still alive, right? Like he's like a rapist, and he's like, he's actually Kim Jong Un. That'd be crazy, right? Like he's actually Kim Jong Un. He just made up a name. That would automatically make everyone sell all their shit.
So it would not be Kim Jong Un, that's for sure. He does not have the training for that. He's too privileged. And then,
but let's just say, like, he's just like, ha, it's me.
Well, that is one of the fears. One of the fears is because the Bitcoin that guy created, or girl, or group, or government, has been dormant. There's like I don't know,
which is smart.
I think there's, right? I don't know, hundreds or millions of Bitcoin.
Imagine if they were public.
And if they start moving their Bitcoin, the market's gonna roar. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. That is one of my fears. This is crazy.
Yeah, because of one individual, right?
Or entity. It could be a government. I think it's the U.S. government, because I heard about Bitcoin a long time ago, and I don't know what it was. I just heard about it, and it was in particular circles. And then now it's like, okay, but I don't know. Yeah.
I think business is so easy. Want to take a break?
I actually do. I gotta use the restroom.
Yeah, dude, go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to keep you too long. It's already 12.
Oh, it's cool, man. We can get to a point, and we
recording. Yes. All right, let's go back. We had a nice break. Had a nice little stretch session. Get the brain moving again because it's Sunday. Dang, man, that's just crazy. The cryptocurrency world. So in El Salvador, you can just buy it just waving your phone. We talked about how it's kind of unhackable. We talked about how just a little bit now, in a couple of years, from 46,000 into 14 years, one Bitcoin right now is worth $46,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
And in about 14 years, it's going to be worth 100K. Okay.
Actually, by the end of this year, they're predicting 100K.
Okay.
By the end of in 3 months.
Holy shit. So by the end of 3 months, you're looking at from 46,000 to 100K. It's almost practically a 150% increase for another 50% of how much that is. Because you're looking at 46,000, it doubles. So that's practically a 200% increase, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
And then, so that's how much it's worth. We talked about that. We talked about how, it's kind of cool that you can do it in El Salvador, Ukraine, Panama. In El Salvador, you're having kind of this new entrepreneurism.
Yep.
You can also buy fractions of Bitcoin. You don't need to buy one whole $46,000 if you don't got that sitting around in your back pocket.
Yep.
You can definitely just buy a couple percentages.
Yep.
Right? I mean, a couple of dollars worth.
Yep.
So we know that it's relevant to this world right now. So let's talk about two things. number one, we need to talk about how can you buy the Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
I think at this point, I mean, there's really no getting around the fact that it's like pretty legit. It's the only way it can really like screw up if, you know, for some reason the people who made it and own a huge share of it for some reason do something with their shares that might screw up the whole thing. But I think if there's an equal amount of shares on one side from the users and an other amount of shares from the, you know, the majority of people that might have it,
Yeah.
there won't be a huge amount of power shift. Really, it would just be a hurt to the Bitcoin, but there'll still be that market of people still having it. But that money's still there though, right? I mean, what can those people really do with their money that might screw it up? But nothing really. I guess if they sold it and liquidated their cash to Bitcoin to somehow turning into dollars, and then all that money is gone, you know, that,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how that might work. But anyways, how can you use it? You know, we talked about like kind of the fail safes, how it, you know, how the market might screw it up, you know, all that kind of things, which is kind of hard. How do you make a Bitcoin? How, I mean, how not make a Bitcoin? How do you like?
Yeah.
So we just talked about Bitcoin though. That's one thing. Before we get into getting one,
Yeah.
we just talked about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now we know that there's Dogecoin.
Yeah.
We know that there's other coins out there.
Ethereum, Cardano. Yeah.
Cardano, which I know a friend of mine is like really into that one. Why not use those? Just is there a reason why? Like, do you have a definite about those? Do you have some stock in some other ones, or
Yeah. So those are called altcoins. So the very first coin ever created was Bitcoin.
okay?
Don't get like caught up in the name, right? Bitcoin is a technology. So it's a technology, right? So in computer science, right, you have to program things, right? In a program, you tell it to do, you have an input, you have an output, right? Here, have a calculator, 2 + 2 = 4, right? The code is dumb. It's just code. It's literally, it's like writing steps, right? And so explaining Bitcoin and contrasting that with Cardano or Ethereum, Bitcoin is software. This was coded. There's only going to be 21 million, and in order for the software to work, it's got these game theory, so bigger thinking, the way the guy programmed it into it, right? So there's the ledger, right? You know what a ledger is, right? So the ledger lives on nodes. A node, this is a node, right? That's a node, basically. So these nodes are in people's houses. I have a node, right? So I set up Bitcoin a node. So the entire ledger blockchain, same thing, has to go to these nodes, right? And so that's anytime someone does a transaction, it's recorded on the ledger. And this ledger is the blockchain on these computers are all over the world. There's this website called bitnodes.io. You can see all the nodes on the network that are verifying all the transactions. It's not the US, it's worldwide. I can go onto the blockchain and see every transaction, right? So there's a ledger, right? It's unhackable with. Every 10 minutes, there's a block, right? It's called the blockchain. So the ledger, it's a chain of transactions, right? Every 10 minutes, there's a new block. And that block has all the transactions, right? In that block, there's an incentive. So there's this thing called miners, right? You've heard of miners. So a miner is a different computer that's only solving the cryptography for that block, right? So the cryptography being like it's solving mathematical equations because these are computers that you and I can't solve. These are computers solving them. You know how fast a calculator calculates. Our brain doesn't have to do it, right? So there's like a miner that's solving for that block every 10 minutes. It's solving an equation. Whatever miner, and there's miners all over the world, China, Russia, everywhere. Whatever miner solves it or gets closest to it wins a reward for that block. And that reward is Bitcoin. So there's only 21 million, right? It's in the code in all our nodes, and so there's the nodes and then there's the miners. When they win, when they solve that, they get that reward, right? The miner does. And that miner gets paid Bitcoin worth 46,000 right now, right? So there's an incentive for there to be miners. There's an incentive for Bitcoin to exist because people are going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now with miners, trying to buy a miner to mine Bitcoin. And now what people are doing, they're pooling their miners together on the internet, and whatever pool gets closest, they all whatever they win half of Bitcoin. They all get a percentage of that Bitcoin, right? There's a game theory to Bitcoin that you can't code in, but it's coded in if you think about it conceptually, right? Outside abstractly from actual like code. So I just highlighted the blockchain, which lives on nodes, and then miners. Miners just try to solve this and get money. That's all they do. Every 10 minutes, they're making money 24 hours a day. There's only 21 million. The last Bitcoin will be mined in 2100, right? We're in 2021. So
Yeah, I was gonna
2100.
ask, has all the Bitcoin has it been distributed already?
No, there's still like millions and millions of Bitcoin left, right? The 21 million. But
So wait, hold on, because I'm not very well rounded.
There was a lot there. Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah.
So some guy made this thing. And so it's like a matrix almost from what I'm understanding. And so like this you have this electronic miner.
Yeah.
That a bunch of IT people or whatever good people are like, doing their thing and mining for shit.
Yeah.
And that's totally illegal.
Yeah. It started as it could be like you could create your own blockchain and do all this, right? It's just people believe in it. The incentive that it has is people are believing in it.
Do you have a miner?
No, it's too expensive for me because nations are mining now. You used to be able with the GPU graphics processor be able to mine because so many people are into it.
It's too much.
It's too much. It costs too much.
Computer to handle.
Yeah. So now you have to have a specific computer that only does mining, and these things go for right now they go for like $8,000, I think, for one miner, right? And then that miner consumes so much electricity, I think 1,500 watts, at 220 volts, which American standard, those are only 110, 120. Yeah. So you need special.
What does your computer do when it mines? Like it does it just like start going like look for shit in the internet?
So you have to have the mining software downloaded, and it's running that software and trying to solve for that block. It's trying to solve the mathematical equation. When it solves it, it gets the reward basically. And then that gets sent to all the network. And then once the nodes verify, yes, that's the reward, then they get that Bitcoin.
So why doesn't like the bank do that? That'd be kind of funny.
Exactly. That's why Bitcoin exists. Because you know why? Because this problem has never.
Like in order to get the Bitcoin, as in get the money, you gotta rob the bank.
So this problem had never been solved before in computer science. This is a computer science problem that was solved, and Bitcoin was number one to solve it. So you were alluding earlier, like what if people create other ones? Well, Bitcoin was the first one. And yeah, if Kim Jong-il comes out saying he created Bitcoin, we'll just recreate this. And we can have California can have their own money supply because someone figured it out, right? What different computers
but
do.
That means that money supply would have to start from like 0.000 cents.
Yeah.
And people will be like, okay, let me buy this shit now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I explained the Bitcoin network, and there's this thing called proof of work, which I have a node, like I have a Raspberry Pi, which is a mini computer running the blockchain, the entire ledger.
Right? The mini computers called Raspberry Pi.
They're called There's these small computers called Raspberry Pis. You're not.
So did someone who invented this shit like just wanted to just fuck with people who are retarded?
Yeah.
They just like, hey, if you don't have an IQ above this level, everything we're talking about, you're just gonna be like
all these words, bro. All these fucking words. Yeah.
You gotta.
It's a little box, bro. It's a
little box that has a Raspberry Pi in it. Okay.
Not an actual Raspberry Pi.
It's okay. It's basically a computer, a mini computer.
Yeah.
That's actually extremely high efficient computer that is mining or
That's that one. I only have the ledger. The poor person probably can. The layman, the average Joe can probably only have if you want to, you can have uh just the Raspberry Pi, the node, right? Just to verify the ledger. To mine, that's a different game. And
what is a ledger?
oh yeah, so in accounting, a ledger is like you have row number one. William had this transaction. Row number two, Jesse had this thing. Row number three, Santa Claus did this. That's a ledger.
Okay, so you have one at your house.
Mm-hmm. It's just a computer running code.
But you're not making any transactions.
I'm not making any money.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but there's more into that. But that's just keep it very high level. Right now, that's a node.
Okay, but what I'm trying to understand
is miners. Are you?
No. Okay, miners we understand is like some crazy $8,000 computer that you plug in and you run a program and it goes out and tries to solve some matrix equations out there in this Bitcoin universe that we can't see but exists somehow in the internet somehow.
Yes. Yeah.
And basically they're like, I can just think about like matrix, like enemies, like just trying to like clap on and just try to take the Bitcoin and whatever. It solves an equation. Okay,
that's
boom,
awesome.
that's one thing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. But then you're talking about you having a ledger. You bought a Raspberry computer.
Yeah. I love that too when you say it like that. Yeah.
You bought a fucking Raspberry computer.
Yeah. And it has a ledger. And they're all connected.
Right,
it's a network.
They're all connected.
I wish I had a whiteboard to show
you.
They're
like basically satellites sending a message to each other, right?
Yep.
Say, hey man, Blojo in Tokyo did this transaction to this Blojo, and then blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really explaining this really good right now. Okay, so, but you have a ledger at your house.
Yeah. And
why did you buy this?
Because I wanted to help the Bitcoin network grow because I invested in Bitcoin and I want, I wanted to grow. I didn't really know it at the time. It was during the pandemic. I was bored. I'm in IT. I wanted to do a proof of concept for myself. I wanted to see the ledger in action.
So can I ask that basically this item is like a box that you bought, you plug in.
Yeah. I make no money off of it.
You literally just plugged it in and never did anything else to it.
I had to install the Umbrella software for to run the blockchain. I could log in and show you. It shows you, right?
It's okay.
But there's no
understand it.
There's no incentive.
It's just like he's just showed me. It just looks like Albert Einstein's fucking chalkboard.
There's no incentive for me to have it. Well, the only incentive is I'm helping the Bitcoin network be stronger because the distributed network is bigger.
So basically, your node is helping capture transactions around your
I'm
area.
like a bank.
Yeah, you're basically let me describe this in the most lamest, like the layman's terms way ever. You're basically like a hotspot recorder recording all the transactions in the area, and you're just sending a message to all the other nodes around you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am.
You're basically like a wireless router.
I am. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You basically bought a wireless router for your wherever you live.
Yeah.
That just runs a system and helps run it faster.
And it's decentralized. So instead of having a bank control, it's everyone has one. I'm sure around here.
But even if you didn't have the Raspberry, you wouldn't even need.
I know, because there's already like 14. I clocked it at 14,000 nodes in the world, and it's growing. More people are adding nodes.
What do nodes do?
So,
does that increase the amount of money, or what?
No. Nodes help verify transactions, and they basically are like proof of work. Where imagine you have one, I have one. Unlike Ethereum, it's a physical thing, right? And there's more of them, so the network is stronger. Because if somebody tried to do, so you're getting into the code of Bitcoin, right?
Can I ask? Is this just like, sorry, I keep.
No, you're good. You're good.
Does this just make like the connection faster?
No. Well,
what is like what is the idea behind having so many damn nodes?
That's a great. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. If it
Because that's
makes
what
the
it just
transaction
sounds like to me. Like I get that it helps like send the messages to the other nodes. Like it sounds like it's just like antenna to another antenna type of
Oh,
thing.
well,
Like what
I
does
think
it
it
do?
does. I think with the Lightning Network, yeah, it does. It'll make things faster eventually.
But the idea of having a node is
So you're thinking of it like what the incentive for having it, and I think it'll make it faster. Like I helped contribute. I'm in a so open source. Uh, I think you're thinking about the node too much. Like you don't need to put one up. If you buy Bitcoin, you can be all right. Like William, you can be all right because there's people like me who did this work, right?
so let's say if people like you didn't exist and like say there was only one node out there, what would that do to the network?
Well, it would take. I think it would take a long time.
To do a transaction.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, what I'm understanding is it's basically a transaction. It's a machine that helps transactions faster, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great question. And then the miners are adding to the security because we're going a step further.
Okay,
So the more
okay.
miners, so where nodes are just a ledger, faster transactions, then the miners add to the security because there's a difficulty level in the program in the mining. So the more miners there are, the less Bitcoin has it. I think every 2 weeks, it makes it more difficult. It makes the math problem harder for them to figure out.
Because there's less.
Less, yeah. So less are rewarded. That way, the supply of 21 million doesn't get given out so fast. Yeah. So, and what that is leading to is that miners cost more because more people want miners, right? So there's this there's this market, there's this game theory, like on a global macro
people
scale.
now just want to get greedy and get everything.
Yeah, and yeah, yep. And so the difficulty level goes up, and it's harder to get Bitcoin. So yeah. And that's I just explained going full circle, right? I just explained Bitcoin, the blockchain, mining, and how it's a distributed, decentralized network where it cuts out banks, and how it works, right? And it's proof of work because people actually have them, like me, and miners in South Carolina and Canada and all that, right? There's yeah, and all the incentive for all of us is to make money and number go up. You just keep it in layman's number go up, right?
So will those miners be worthless when all the money is already distributed?
So we're talking about 100 years from now. Yeah, but Moore's law, the technology will be like this laptop. Like this now does a lot of what your laptop does, right? Those miners, there'll be technology where you probably just talk to your fucking Ray-Bans like Facebook's doing, and it does everything. It's the computer for you. You just think it, right? So there's that too.
So the travel of technology with the miners.
Yeah, they'll just be irrelevant at that point.
So we talked about a little bit of the equipment now.
Yeah.
Like kind of like, you got this machine that helps, the transactions go faster. You're basically trying to make yourself like a cool ass hotspot, like, somebody in Haiti,
Haiti.
In Haiti is like not too close, might be extremely close to you and say, hey man, let me use Jesse's network to make this transaction. Or he doesn't even control that, but because you're so close to him in Haiti, he's like, fuck yeah, man, that transaction took easy. It was easy, right? Okay, that's cool. You have a little ledger, so maybe like in your room, it goes a little bit faster. You got Raspberry. You can probably tell other Bitcoiners like, I got a node. I got a node that like,
you can.
They're like, wow. Now, what does that do if you say, hey man, I got a node? Do they do anything with that?
So I want to. Yeah. So I can have a wallet on my node, and I don't fully understand this part of it yet. But I can. I mean, I can have my Bitcoin on there, and you can use it to where you're anonymous. And I haven't gotten too far into that, because it's on the network. I haven't gotten into that too much. But I think a concept I want to lead us to is like, so you said sending money directly to someone and it's fast, right? Right now with the current modern technology, if you were to send me money via Zelle, it has to go through whatever your dollars have to go through whatever bank, and then a couple days that bank has to release it to my bank, and then my bank in a couple hours gives it to me. They say 2 to 3 business days, right? But there's people actually have to like do this, right? People with Bitcoin, because of the whole network I just explained, it cuts out those people, right? You could think of using Venmo, they have their whatever technology,
literally
using
no
PayPal.
middleman. You don't
There's
need no
no
company
middleman
to go run Bitcoin.
yeah, and that's what it solves. So Visa just got on the game of using Bitcoin, because Visa is actually a technology company. They're not a bank, um, and they just started integrating Lightning Network, which integrates our nodes, right? Yeah.
So Visa then is doing what now? What is the advantage of Visa with that?
They well they're a
cards?
first mover. Yeah, they're a first mover into this, so they're gonna get like whatever small transaction fees comes to them. So on Bitcoin, there are little transaction fees of like 2 cents. So if you sent some dude keeps sloshing around $2 billion in the Bitcoin network. He's been doing it since September 7th. And they're paying like a dollar or something to send $2 billion. If you were to send that much, when you get very high, I don't know if you know this. I don't. But I think there's.
So
I know I jumped. Sorry.
No. It's okay. But I just want to understand something. So Visa is getting into this, and why are they getting a percentage? What are they doing for the customer?
Yeah, so the Lightning Network. So they got first mover advantage, right? So they're building out the infrastructure. Basically, JP Morgan's going to come and be like, "Yo, Visa, we'll pay you to teach us how to integrate this." Fuck loads of money right there, right? All these other companies, right, to build out the infrastructure. There's just money to be made.
Integrated to what?
Into JP Morgan, let's say, for example. So high net worth clients can use whatever network in the future, so it's instant, right? So they have first mover advantage. We're talking about like first mover, or like business to business, right? But they do make money on, I don't know if you understand what that is, but they make money on transaction fees too, using the Lightning Network. Like if you want to think immediately of like these little fees of like 28 cents.
I thought you said that there's no fees behind
that. There is fees to use Bitcoin. It's very nominal, like a couple cents.
Wow. So that's really cool, because you're saying one Bitcoin is 46,000, and let's say I have $1 bajillion in Bitcoin, and now I'm only doing a percentage. When I mean, I don't know if you pay a percentage when you move that much money in a bank. I don't necessarily. There's probably a lot of loopholes,
but you have to wait. So I was telling you during the smoke break that when I was divesting my stocks on Robinhood, so I had like $5 grand, right, in stocks. Yeah, I had around $5 grand in Apple and all these stocks and earning dividends, right? And I had to sell them, and I had to wait for them to sell, or I had to sell them, and then I had to get all that money and move it over to my bank, right? So I had to wait for my money to move from Robinhood to my bank. Then I had to wait. This is real time. Then I had to wait for my bank to buy the Bitcoin. So then I had to wait like 4 business days. So I waited about. It took me about. I seriously took me about 2 weeks, like 2 weeks, and it's in business days, so Monday through Friday. To wait 2 weeks for my money to clear, for me to actually be earning yield on my Bitcoin, which I haven't even talked to you about earning yield on Bitcoin. And 2 fucking weeks, and I'm a shrimp. I don't have much money. With Bitcoin, it's instant. There's no 2 week waiting period. It's literally a new tech that solves money. And
so if you needed cash from your Bitcoin as like a reserve, you're like, I need $200.
I get it. I can get it in seconds. I just need Wi-Fi
into your bank account.
Well, no, the bank is slow. I'm not on a bank. I'm unbanking yourself. The new banks are different. The new bank, you are your own bank now.
So okay, all right. Okay. So let's get out of that, because now we're getting into like this super confusing thing, like about like the Bitcoin and the banks and this goddamn dog who keeps fucking barking over my podcast. Thanks. Let's see if he barks good.
I had a couple points I wanted to like. I think it'll help you connect some dots.
Okay. So let's hear the points.
Yeah. So the history of money, like what is the history of money, right? Like what is money, right?
Okay.
So there's this great book called The Bitcoin Standard where he breaks down like from history what money is, right? So money used to be people used to trade salt with one another.
Like what value and stuff?
Yeah,
Right?
like barter, right? Salt. And then people used to trade beads, like nice beads. I don't know where they were from. And then the Native American, and then before that, people used to trade these really nice rocks with each other. I think that was the very beginning. Rocks, right? Stones. Fuck, right? Whatever is a nice stone. Here, you got it now. Give me your cow. I don't know, man. And then the Native Americans used to trade nice shells. And when the first settlers came here, they were trading, they had to adopt whatever the Native Americans were doing because the Native Americans had the buffalo and stuff, right? So that was money. It wasn't gold. It wasn't fucking, it was pelts and, you know, and nice shells. And then that got inflated because the Europeans figured out how to get hella shells. And so that collapsed Native Americans. We know where they're at now, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's like the history of money. So what you have to think about, like, what is money, right? Bartering system, like we have cash, right? I'm gonna gloss over that, right? Yeah, and then, well, not really. So that's money. And then what are the attributes of money? You kind of alluded to that, right? Like money has to be divisible. So you have a dollar, then you have cents. It has to be transportable. You can do that with cash. There's like 7 attributes of money. Um, and those are like 2 of them, right? I was trying to look them up before that, but there's all these like attributes to it, right? It has to be a store of value. It has to be a unit of account, like $46 is 1 Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin hits all of them.
$46 or $46,000?
Sorry, $46,000 is 1 Bitcoin, right? Unit of account, $1 is $1, right? It has, yeah, divisible. There's like 7 key attributes that make money, and the fiat system, the dollar system uses it, and Bitcoin hits all of them. It's non-fungible. You can't trade it for another. It's a dollar, right? Because it's backed by something. Yeah. And then the last point I wanted to make, well, yeah, I wanted to tell you the history of Bitcoin. My last point is how to buy it. But yeah, that's the history of money, right? And I feel like that's very important for people to understand. Like, there's this old financial system where you have middlemen, and this new computer science problem that was solved, Bitcoin, gets rid of the middle people, right? And then I don't know if you ever send money to family back home, but you got to pay a remittance.
Yeah, middle people always charge
There's
fees.
Exactly. And con Bitcoin, it's legal. The Salvadorians right now, there's like articles coming out that Western Union is going to lose, I don't know if it was like $400 million per year because of this, because Western Union charges $15 per remittance. I've paid remittance fees to send money to my family in Mexico, right? I fucking hate them, bro. I hate these middle people. That's our money, bro. It's nominal amounts now, right? There's a time where that was a lot of money for me, and it is a lot of money for people. Well, they're gone. And that's what the savior of Salvador did. That's what Nayib Bukele did, was he's like, I'm adopting this because we ain't got shit more. And the poor people, the diaspora, right? How they call them, those Salvadoreños living abroad, sending money, they're going to save. And yeah, just wanted to point out also, like, there's no middle people with Bitcoin. Those are very important things that I wanted to bring up in this podcast.
That's a very good thing to think about, because I mean, Salvador is a big country that a lot of people from the United States who have a lot of family here that send money over there. And imagine if Mexico adopted that. I mean, California and Bitcoin to Mexico would be insane.
Huge, fucking huge.
Yeah,
I think, I don't know, this is me, but like 80% of Mexico is in America working in the service industry.
I 100%.
And not even on the census. Like, I know I have family who are illegal, right? I know for a fact that there's so many people working under the table.
Construction.
Right?
Huge backing.
All the hotels are mostly Latino, bro.
I know.
In Vegas.
No, I'm serious, dude. But like, even a huge labor force doing what I was doing with cubicles in the past. It has a lot to do with interior construction, outer construction, cement, hauling, moving, like everything that has to do with
agriculture.
Yeah. It's just, and a lot of people are illegal or just residents. Just those 2 alone, or have been residents, have been staying past their residency. I feel for those people. And if those people can send money with like super ease, you're talking about like Bitcoin. I don't know what would happen with Bitcoin. Maybe Visa would get a huge cut out of that. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That first mover effect. Oh yeah, they're first movers. They're gonna be Visa's gonna exist forever.
So
Now.
with Bitcoin now kind of make, because I've always like, I remember fees, whatever, doing transfers were cheaper. And with time, things have gotten more expensive because now there's so many programs out there that, because they're so involved with things, and PayPal exists, and all these other programs out there that still, the when it has to do with debit card and all that transactions, they're going to charge theirs, and that company is going to charge theirs. Or if they contract somebody out, they're going to charge theirs, and that third party is going to charge theirs. So depending on who you use to transfer money, it's a little bit more easier, right? But I feel like with Bitcoin and you transferring things from Mexico, and you're talking about high dollar amounts, consistent amounts, and people maybe using that Bitcoin to buy stuff in Mexico. I mean, and with that huge dollar amount of investments already, people have already been invested and they can't really spend it. I mean, you've had such a long time with people who bought Bitcoin and you really couldn't really do anything with it.
Yeah. That's one of the counter arguments that people try to push.
And
well, now you can in El Salvador and other places.
You can, right? I think you technically could have done that even before El Salvador became, able to use the Bitcoin as just a normal standard currency. You could still buy stuff, that was, depending on what website you used or where you went or who you talked to, you can still buy it and buy somebody's things that you wanted, that you thought of value, whatever.
Yeah.
But now we're moving in a totally different world where you can use Bitcoin and buy things, and that is amazing because you've had so many people dormant, and that money is ready to be spent and traded or whatever.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about people who are rich probably now from Bitcoin, who the very few, and then some of the people are getting it now. Seriously, the honest question, how does somebody get into Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Like how I don't know shit from Bitcoin truly. I mean, I understand what you're talking about, but when we got to plug in the big piece. How do you now buy it and start to use it, and how can you see that money grow? That's when that piece intrigues people.
Okay, so I heard two things. How do you buy it and how will it grow? So how do you buy it? Simple. You already probably saw you can buy it on Venmo, you can buy it on PayPal, you can buy it on Cash App.
I don't know that.
So if you were to open your three apps right now, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, they have a little crypto button. You can buy it right now. Yeah, check it out.
Okay, everybody, I'm gonna go look at my phone. I got Venmo. All right, I got Venmo. Let me open this boy up.
How to buy, and then you said how to buy, and then how it grows. So we're doing the how to buy right now. Yeah.
Okay, I see this little C right here.
Boom. That's click on it.
Okay. There's Bitcoin. All right, I'm gonna start reading stuff out, guys. So if anybody out there got Venmo, all right, and you're gonna follow through with me, we're gonna buy some Bitcoin right now. I clicked on the Venmo app. I go down here, I see all the people that did the trades. I'm gonna go down and it says pay or request, and there's a little QR right there, has the C with the dollar sign, like cents. I click on it and it says buy crypto with as little as $1. Okay. Right now, one Bitcoin BTC on the market has gone up 1.19%. One Bitcoin is worth $45,000, $45,959.37. While Ethereum has been up 3% and 3% for 3,000, whatever. Bitcoin Cash. What's Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, that's Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Those are alt things. So Bitcoin had a fork. There was the block wars. Anyways, it's a derivative. I don't recommend Bitcoin Cash.
Okay, so Bitcoin Cash is another form of Bitcoin, but it's like what?
It's not. I don't even think it's a stable coin. It used to be Bitcoin, and they forked the network, and it became Bitcoin Cash.
But why would they fork the network if it's doing well?
So because sending, I don't want to take away too much from you signing up, but
No.
sending Bitcoin.
We're just being detectives here, bro.
Yeah, sending Bitcoin through the Bitcoin network, and we didn't touch. I touched on Lightning a little. Takes a long time. For me to send you on the normal blockchain, it would take I don't know, it could take up to an hour for it to get to you. An hour is better than 3 to 5 business days, right? Because it has to go on the blockchain, it has to go through the nodes, and then once it's verified, and then somebody has to mine in the
So
block.
that's why you meant like if people have more nodes, we're gonna get this shit to go like one
Yeah.
day like that.
So so they're building the Lightning network. There's this new thing being built out.
That's so amazing that what you're talking. So
how you see it happening in real time. Yeah,
right. Like it's more of a human effort, even though
proof of work.
Proof of work.
We call it proof of work. The actual work happening.
So, but people die though. So you have some people like slowly going away, and then you got new people coming with new nodes, and those nodes die. I mean, has somebody thought like, I'm gonna put a node on my freaking tombstone connected to some electricity so the node is there forever?
Yeah, so they were talking about using Elon Musk satellites as nodes, because nodes,
that'd be so dope.
Yeah, nodes are going to be on your phones. I think there's if you can think it, it'll happen.
Can you make money off owning a node?
Yeah, you can make small fees. Yeah, I'm not that technically inclined to do that because
can't you like build like a super node?
Node of nodes, you have to get popular. People have to buy in. I guess you can.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty legit. Okay. So Bitcoin's not good because they forked
Bitcoin Cash.
Cash. Sorry. Bitcoin Cash. I'm gonna be specific, guys. Bitcoin is good. Bitcoin Cash, not stable. Okay, Litecoin, you said the same thing.
Same thing. It's an altcoin. Yeah.
It's an old coin?
Alt, like alternative.
Alternative coin. Yeah. Okay.
My recommendation, right, is just buy Bitcoin, buy in small amounts.
So what about Ethereum?
So Ethereum, I just explained the Bitcoin network, right? How nodes and miners. Ethereum is proof of stake, where the way I understand is they do have nodes, and I think that they also have miners, but they control the software, they control the nodes, whereas Bitcoin, it's distributed. We all have them, right? And we all have to opt into like a fork, like Bitcoin Cash. Going with Ethereum, they control how many. There isn't 21 million. There's whatever they want to code into it. So it's like US dollar. It's like cash, and then inflation. All the problems we're having with El Salvador, right, is happening.
So it was good if you caught into the beginning, and then eventually it will flatten and straighten.
So the game theory of it is like it's still like the bank, like the banks, and Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin is decentralized. So if you have Bitcoin, if you buy it through a custodian like Venmo, Cash App, whatever, you're going to be fine. If you own it, like how to get the actual code, right, on a cold wallet, if you lose that Bitcoin is lost forever. Now, if that Bitcoin is lost, that makes the other Bitcoins worth more, right? So there's the game theory into that. Yeah, so Ethereum is centralized. Bitcoin is decentralized.
And that's the reason why you just don't agree with.
That's why people believe in Bitcoin, because it's against anyone owning it. It's no more borders, no more control. Your money is your money. No one can take it away.
I've talked to people that say that they believe Ethereum is better than Bitcoin.
Yeah. Those are Ethereum maxis.
It was, and sorry, the whole time you were talking, I signed up to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That was that easy.
Awesome, man. Did you get some? Yeah.
I'm gonna buy $100. No, wait, hold on. My wife's saying
yeah, so the Ethereum argument, or what they're going to be doing is they're going to be building apps on Ethereum, and I really don't know.
Let's talk about this. Visa, they're charging me 50 cents. Yeah. 50 cents, bro.
So if you were to buy Bitcoin using Strike, I think it's almost free. There's another app. You asked me, right? Like you're on Venmo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but there's other apps where they use a different. It's more advanced in the Bitcoin community, and there it'll be practically free. You just can buy it on Venmo. I mean, 50 cents is not a lot to pay, I think, for the future.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I just bought Bitcoin, bro.
Hey man, congrats. I just orange pilled you, as they say.
Orange pilled me?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
That's what it's called. So you know the Matrix where you have the red pill and the blue pill? I just orange pilled you.
I feel like a genius now. I feel like I'm smarter than you.
So,
hey, wait, it just says I went negative $20. That's not cool.
What? Negative $20?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you paid. You paid $20
okay.
for it? Yeah. So you bought 20 worth.
So okay, I bought $19. I have $19 and I bought $20 worth, and it literally went to $19.90 just right there.
Yeah, and it's if just
I lost 10 cents. Just
it'll keep going up and down. If Bitcoin goes down, you'll lose. If Bitcoin goes up, you'll win.
So you basically told me I just bought stock.
Because
why didn't you just tell me to buy Apple stock?
Oh well, that's stock. That's on a company. You're buying actual you're
Apple's
buying
going up though.
You're buying Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin basically.
Okay, but I bought $19 worth, $19.90 worth, $10 short, 10 cents short of $20. What, like, let's say I have that money, and now with your expert knowledge and feeling towards Bitcoin, where do you predict that how much money that's going to be? Let's just say by the end of this year.
All right, yeah.
Just guesstimate. Don't be like, it's going to be like $1,000.
No, I think I have a pretty reasonable. What everyone is saying is Bitcoin's going to be. I think it'll be at 80K by the end of the year. People are saying it's going to be over 100. The bulls. I think that's too much. I think it'll be at 80K by December 31. I don't know. You'll make like another $10 or something. Probably, yeah. You'll make around $10. So it'll be like instead of 19, you'll have $29. So I bought some when it was at like 33K, right, on Venmo. Not on Venmo, on PayPal. I could show you right now. I bought $40 worth, like $45 worth, and I have like 59. I didn't buy a lot on PayPal, but from what I bought, and I think I actually bought it at 9K. So my shit, like, I'm almost, what is that, like a 36% return or something? It's not a lot on there, right?
No, it's not. But like stock market wise, that's not bad. After one, that's basically one quarter.
Yeah.
After one quarter, and usually one quarter, you really just go up maybe a couple cents. Sometimes you go up a lot of money, but it does fluctuate a lot. Do you see a lot of fluctuation a lot in the Bitcoin?
Yeah. So there's the Bitcoin cycles, right? It's a new thing. There's a Bitcoin cycles where there's the speculation right now is that we're in a bull cycle still. That's why at 100K by the end of the year. Yep. There's another thing called halvings with Bitcoin that I haven't explained, which is kind of a weird concept for me to get across my head. But every 4 years, the supply of Bitcoin, so for miners that they earn less, right? Because there's only 21 million. And what that does is it makes, the Bitcoin price go up. So I think the next, we just had it last year. So in like 2.5 years or something, we're going to have another halving. So there'll be less Bitcoin in the supply of Bitcoins. So everyone's Bitcoin will go up. If you've been following us since the first halvings, it's been like, I don't know if it doubles, but it almost does double.
I noticed in the stock that it just like was going really well. And then I think something in the early year, it just went.
Yeah. Yep. Last year. Yeah. So, but yeah, it follows the Bitcoin cycle, not the stock market, which is the business cycle. Since the 1920s, I think we've been tracking the stock market, right? And it went up, and then I think, that was a Great Recession, right, or the Depression. Then it goes up, then it goes every 8 to 10 years, the market goes up and down. The long-term business cycle. I learned that in business school, right? This is what you're tracking every 10 years.
Wait. All this glorious stuff that you were saying about me buying 20. I literally bought. We said $25, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna retire in 14 years with that.
I mean, that's hopeful. That's
Whoa,
hopeful
whoa, whoa,
wishing.
whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Everything sounded all fucking sunny and rainbows. We're talking about retiring in El Salvador with $20 or
Yeah,
$25. And because by the estimation, you know, calculations, it wasn't like a lose situation that we were gonna get to that level of, getting some good money.
yeah. I mean, if it goes to a billion, I can't do the math in my head. But if it were to go to a billion, your $20 worth would definitely be worth. I don't know, man. I don't know. That would be a couple thousand. That would be close to you to make like I don't know 50,000 or something. I don't know. But a billion is a lot of money per Bitcoin. If that happens though, you're
No, you said
yeah.
in 14 years. In 14 years, it's going to be worth one Bitcoin is going to be worth what?
In 14 years, it's going to be a million,
One
according to
Bitcoin.
Fidelity. Yeah.
Okay, a million, right?
Yeah.
And that's because, and you feel 100% certain that this shit won't drop, like it won't crash.
Yeah. So
Because you said if we crash, the Bitcoin crashes.
right now, yeah, the stock market and Bitcoin markets are very correlated, because of it's too early. It's a new technology. Again, first principles. It's a technology, right? We have to buy into it. You have to buy it. Everyone has to buy into it. Look, man, Venmo is integrating it. PayPal is integrating it. Cash App is integrating it. All the young people, there's something there,
So why
right?
do you think that the older generation doesn't want to buy Bitcoin if they feel the same consensus that I feel? That it sounds like, from what you're telling me, somebody made another currency with hopes that it will. They're really determined that it will change the way we do business banking wise, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a paradigm shift. Uh huh.
But unfortunately, there's no way of escaping that. How much the Bitcoin is no matter in the hands of the economy of the world. There's no way. Like
There's going to be winners and losers, 100%. There always
market.
has been. There always has been the has and the have-nots. Is that what you're alluding to?
Like it's not something that's like everybody wants to have 100% foolproof investment plan. And if Bitcoin would be the answer, I'm telling you, dude, you would have billions of people rushing to be like, dude, I want to put my money in Bitcoin because I know that shit's going to give me a lot of money.
No one has spent the time like you are right now to do the research.
I only spent an hour, 2 hours technically.
And you're learning, right? So Bitcoin has, and bear with me, your mind might get blown, right? Bitcoin has this game theory in it. Game theory, right? You know, game theory, like always trying to one up someone, right? Or one up nation states or whatever level. So game theory has this thing, or like greed. It has greed. Bitcoin has greed in it, right? That's what the guy who made this whole network. That's why the price of miners are going up. What the fuck? It's code. That's why there's industries being out has greed. I'm greedy. You're greedy because we want number to go up. Number go up. I have more money. It's that simple. That's the game theory of it, right? And that's Bitcoin. It has greed. It has incentives, and the incentive is number go up. I keep it simple, right? Like your money makes money. Yeah, and that it has that built in the system a lot, and your dots are gonna connect. You're gonna sleep on this, and you're gonna see that, but it has that in there. The greed, the number go up.
I get that when it comes to mining because that's obviously if you didn't have the greed or you didn't have the harder equations for the miners, I mean this market would just get saturated with all the money going. Like you said, they don't want that.
Yeah.
But the maker didn't want that, and nobody would want that, right? Who owns that? Just to be like, boom, it's gone now. Everybody owns it now. It's just like at 46,000.
Yeah, he had the difficulty adjustment coded in.
Right, yeah. And that's good because you want the money to just kind of trickle from the source slowly, so that the value of your dollar just gets boom, 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 boom. By the time the last Bitcoin is gone, it's like probably that one. I imagine the equation would be that one last Bitcoin would almost be worth as much as all the Bitcoin that exists.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That one last Bitcoin.
So, but you asked me, do I think that this is going to happen in 15 years? So Fidelity came out. I mean,
No,
I'm
I
giving
didn't
you
say 15 years. I just said like in 15 years, that one Bitcoin we talked about earlier would, if for 20 with $25, it would be worth, 250,000 according to like the estimates with Fidelity.
I'm thinking about it like in real time right now. I have money invested, right? But if you were to make it dispassionate, like using our head with the knowledge that has come to us right now, have a diversified portfolio and invest a percentage of your portfolio into Bitcoin. It's a smart move because there's this new disruptive technology that's taking off, and you're seeing it. You just saw it right now, like being developed in different companies, right? And it would be stupid not to allocate a percent of your portfolio if that's going to grow, right? Like, yeah, I have Apple too, actually. And I leave that to dividend, and it's a growth stock, right? But yeah, like it's silly not to, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but definitely allocate some there. Yeah. So I'm more of the don't put all your eggs in one basket, but everything is pointing that this new network technology is what I'm saying it is. And yeah, that's what I believe. I'm very agnostic, dispassionate. I don't get emotional. I wouldn't be as successful as I am if I did in everything in life. And yeah, that's I follow this guy. He said this he sits in boardrooms, Mike Alfred, right? And he actually brought that up. Like you have to it's hard for people to make dispassionate, like just using your head, no emotion, decision, right? And everything does point to Bitcoin being what I just said it is, right?
So let's talk about you and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All right. We talked about now how to get it. It's very easy. Super easy. You get a small fee on it, and there's other sources that charge you even smaller fee. And now I have the Bitcoin on Venmo. Maybe in the future I'll learn how to buy it. I mean, use stuff with it.
Yep.
Okay. Is now let's kind of let's hit that nail on the butt first. I bought the Bitcoin on Venmo. What can you do with that Bitcoin? I mean, honestly, I would recommend, that's my personal, to sit on it and wait for it to grow.
Yep.
What would you recommend to someone who would, first of all, you buy the Bitcoin? What would you recommend?
Yeah, hodl it. Don't sell it.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about if somebody wants to buy it? I mean, wants to sell it or to use it?
So right now, Bitcoin, the way it's seen by our laws is it's like a stock. So when you sell a stock, you pay capital gains if you make money. If you lose, you farm that, right? You take it as a loss in your income tax, right? It's a capital gain or a capital loss. When you're, so you got to treat it that way. I would hodl it. So because you don't want to sell and get a trigger capital gains, right?
Can you go to El Salvador with like a Bitcoin card that you can get somehow? And let's say you travel to El Salvador, can you actually like go on the streets and pay for things?
Yeah. So the card you're speaking of right now, they're wallets. There's different wallets that are Bitcoin friendly, right? And yeah, I could use my wallet to pay for transactions. Let me show you. Let me show you. So I have
everyone. We're gonna look at
I transferred
Mr. Sideland Latino's wallet.
I transferred all my money from. Okay, so I don't have any Bitcoin in my. This is a Moon wallet. I transferred it because I'm earning yield on Celsius, but you can receive, right? So if you have this wallet, you can
use that code.
Yeah, man, it's that easy. It's that easy.
Maybe Venmo doesn't have that.
No, Venmo doesn't have it because Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App is a custodian. I'm the custodian of this wallet. So if I ever forget the username and password, this Bitcoin is lost forever. So with Venmo, you have an account, right? They're protecting the keys for you. This is more advanced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I can use it using different wallets, right?
Right?
Yeah, I'm responsible. If I lose it, it's gone, right? You can't right now. The goal is so Bitcoin, like let me use an example. So you use email, right? You go to Gmail and you send an email at whatever.com. You actually don't know how email works. SNTP, TCP/IP. You don't know the IT stuff, right?
That's Bitcoin. So there's two networks, right? This is kind of advanced. You don't know the difference between the Bitcoin blockchain network and the Lightning chain. I haven't explained it. I won't. It's kind of advanced, right? Think of it as like TCP/IP. You've heard of that, right?
No, but I imagine that one is like, hey man, this is my samurai sword and this is my steak knife.
Yeah. So yeah, samurai sword and steak knife, right? And
so two different things. But when do you use the lightning?
The lightning is for faster transactions. But the point being,
you have a code for faster transactions.
Yeah, they're faster. Yeah, I know. But the code, because you're not there.
That's so cool.
You just bought some on Venmo. They're your custodian. They're safe. You don't actually own the Bitcoin. They own it. You just, I mean, by law, you own that whatever amount you paid, right? And that's always going to be yours by law. But technically, you don't own it. When I have it in this wallet, it's mine. I can go to the no one can take it from me. The government, they can't take it from me. It's mine.
Yeah, because if they have some cahoots with Venmo, they can take my shit.
Yep. On Bitcoin, there's no government. There's no government intervention. You're killing the government.
Wait. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So if I was going to get rated, BC's money from the IRS, can they go into my Venmo and take my Bitcoin?
Yes, Venmo, because Venmo is a custodian.
Fuck. But if I bought Bitcoin with your wallet thing that you have, which is called what?
It's the Moon Wallet.
Moon Wallet,
yeah.
And it's downloadable app.
Mm-hmm.
And can you buy Bitcoin on the Moon Wallet?
No.
So how do you transfer Bitcoin?
You have to buy it, and that gets into, you can buy it legally, or you can buy it peer to peer, or I guess you can buy it through a custodian like Venmo, and then you could send it here. Venmo hasn't built out those features yet. You have to be like more into the stuff, right? Like talk to people who know about it. But Venmo is basically they're integrating all this, and they're going to make all that happen. They're going to make all this harder stuff happen. It's just being built out right now.
So let's say, I want to get a Moon Wallet. How do I get Bitcoin on my Moon Wallet besides, let's say peer-to-peer is not.
Go to Cash App. Go to Cash App. Buy it on Cash App, So you go to Cash App, right? I have Cash App.
Oh yeah, there is the option.
I'm gonna buy some right now. This is fucking how bullish I am. I'm gonna buy $25 worth of Bitcoin right now. So I'm adding cash to my Cash App. So I added cash, right? That cash is actually, anyway, I won't get into that, but it's not there. So right now the price of Bitcoin is $45,911, right? I have 3 cents right now. Okay. So I'm gonna buy, right? So I'm actually buying 25, and there's gonna be that small fee of a couple Satoshis, which are like cents. They denominate it, so 56 cents, right?
Okay.
So I just bought 53,000 Satoshis. Okay. So I just bought some Bitcoin. So now I have $24.47 because it was 50 cents worth of fees, right?
Right.
I just own it. The way you transfer it, this is a live. So you click on this little send, right? So in Venmo, you only have buy and sell. Go on Cash App, because Cash App is a Bitcoin forward company, and Venmo's trying to catch up. That's why I said Visa's going to kill it, because they're going to have all this pretty soon. I have 53,000 Satoshis, right? So what I do is I can go to my Moon wallet, and you won't see it happen so fast because it's going to take let me just do it. I'll send it to my Moon wallet. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Right. So I'm instead of, like, if you had a thing, I could take a picture of it, but I'm just going to copy this, right? This code. Okay. So then I go here, and then I send. So how many do I want to send? I'm going to send 10,000 Satoshis, right? Which is $5, right? Okay. So then I put in how much I want to send. You can see how much it's in USD. That's how much I've left, right? So send. What address do I want to send it to? You just paste the QR code. Okay. And then I'm just going to confirm my PIN. And then I'm going to send it Rush. There's a 8 cent fee. Okay. I'm willing to pay because I'm showing you, right? There's priority. You pay more because you pay more. So we won't get into that. But yeah, I'll just send it Rush. Confirm withdrawal. Yep. Confirm and send. So it's gonna take I don't know how much time it said. So it withdrew the $5, right? Because I deposited $5 worth. So it should be showing up here in my Moon wallet, I think in 10 minutes. So at 0, right? It'll show up here in like 10 minutes.
That's so
And that's how
amazing.
you send money. Yeah. So we'll check back here.
Wow.
Yep.
So you guys, it's out there. I mean, the fucking technology is out there. You just got to be a little savvy, and talk to some people. That's amazing, man.
It says pending and you
Yeah.
can see. And then I'll show you a previous one. So yesterday I sent some to my other wallet.
So now you loaded the money onto your moon wallet, right?
It's on its way. Yeah.
Okay. You're not on the moon.
No,
yet.
I'm on Cash App. I'm showing you an older transaction. So yesterday I sent myself a transaction, and this is more geeky, right? But they give you access to the blockchain and to see where it was sent, how much you paid, etc. Anyways, well, yeah, we're just waiting for the money to arrive on the Moon wallet here shortly.
No problem.
Yeah.
So Sideline just freaking send him money. He has gonna get the money soon in his wallet, and then from there he has these, QR codes. He can walk up, get scanned, and he can pay for something in El Salvador or wherever places accept Bitcoin. Because I think there's some places that accept Bitcoin for money, right?
In the US, yeah, they're kind of like you have
There's
to
some stores.
you have to find them.
Yeah.
Because if I were to sell this, you have to pay capital gains, like they're at 1099 or whatever, right? You're going to get it because these stocks. And then I don't see it right now, but come March, I'm going to I have to pay because I made this much money, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So, but people do, I paid a fee because I wanted to show you, right? I know ways where I don't have to pay all these fees. It's just like, it takes longer, but I own it eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we literally talked about, kind of what is a Bitcoin in kind of terms.
Yep.
We talked about kind of the news kind of going on around the world about the Bitcoin US. We're going to get into that right now, I guess. We haven't really talked about what the US is doing now.
Yeah.
And we talked about how to get it. It's extremely easy.
Yep.
Venmo, Cash App, getting a Moon wallet, so you actually have the control of your own money. It's not controlled by Venmo. But if you lose the code, hey man, it's on you. You lost thousands of dollars.
Yep.
You might as well save that information somewhere. And then we talked about how to use it, all that stuff. So today, right now, it's not seen as a currency in the US. We predict that, kind of talking about this today, kind of putting our two heads together, that there will be very valuable return if you put some good money into this. Maybe as you said, as a recommendation, as a part of your portfolio, not a definite thing, but there are people who are probably diehards, Bitcoiners, that have 100% belief that this will be there eventually at one point where it's all that money is going to be totally accessible and able to be something liquid really.
Yep.
Now the US is having senators talk about this stuff.
Yes.
And I think we should really end the podcast at that, because
yeah.
What do you think? What are you seeing for the US, and how would that really, and you as an individual, how's that going to benefit Sideline Latino?
Yeah. So
and the future Bitcoiners, or why Bitcoiners fucking doing this shit.
Yeah. So there's nation state game theory where the US versus Russia versus China versus everyone, right? That's what it used to be. If the US doesn't get into Bitcoin, they're going to be left out, because the world can use this. I can literally catch a flight to El Salvador and use whatever I have in Bitcoin right now. I don't need cash, and I'm good. Imagine Panama's going to do it. Who else? The Ukraine, good for them. They're doing it. They're going to be left out. Right now, the US dollar is the most powerful dollar in the world, right? It's everyone, the UK, they all know the dollar. I don't know what the fuck the pound conversion is. The privilege to be an American right now. So the game theory for the CIA, the powers that be, the government, is to adopt Bitcoin because it'll be left out. We will not be the standard anymore. Now, the flags are pointing that the US government is on our side. They just hired Gary Gensler as the head of the, I think it's the FTC or FCC, whatever, the federal commissions and whatever. And he was a professor at MIT who was teaching Bitcoin. The US government just hired the head of this organization who enacts regulation around things. He was a professor of Bitcoin. That tells you that the US government is on the side, right? On the side of future technology innovation, right? Because Bitcoin ultimately is innovation. So the future for me in Bitcoin is that, invest, like everything is pointing that Bitcoin is going to be the reserve currency of the future. Yeah, and I
What do you mean by reserve currency?
Everything will be backed by Bitcoin Satoshis. It won't be like by the dollar. Everything eventually, when we are in a Bitcoin standard, like we're in a USD standard, will be how many Satoshis to buy this. That's eventually what will end up happening.
Oh yeah,
with what we're going. But I just explained to you, Gary Gensler, the head of the FCC, was a professor at MIT, and he was teaching blockchain, Bitcoin. He was teaching the blockchain because his computer science problem is genius. That Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever that person is, like, this is pretty genius, right? And he was teaching that. He is the head right now of the FCC, and he's going to regulate which cryptos are okay and which are not. And I think he did say, this is all over the infrastructure bill or wherever his interview was 2 weeks ago. I think he said there's going to be 5, and we think it's obviously going to be Bitcoin because that was the first, and that's the one he was teaching. Ethereum, and I don't know what other ones. And the rest are going to get like the lower level regulations, and they're going to die. And all that money from all those little Gen Zoomers buying Doge is going to come over. And that's why people are saying Bitcoin is going to go to like $1 million, because the smart money, the people with these with these eagle eye of what's going on, long-term markets, right? Not these little kids, are seeing what I just connected a dot, right? That everything is pointing towards this future instead of not, right? Like the probabilities are that it is going to happen. Just connect the dots.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued to see.
that was a lot, man. No, I gave so much. I feel good. I feel I covered.
No, and I feel like there's so much more in detail to talk about. I think we definitely need to do another podcast about this as I dig deeper myself into learning more about this. Me and my wife want to invest, and we really
100%.
want to get into something that is actually going to grow. I know the stock market is good, and we've talked about it, you and me, in the break, about the stock market and how some of it's good, and there's already strategies out there, low risk and high risk, medium risk, who's the top ones, and I've seen it. It's happened to me with just a couple $100. You can lose your money very easily.
Yeah.
But with Bitcoin being something that's emerging and really looking at the numbers, I mean, you're talking from something that was just a couple of cents. That came out in 2011, I think 2009.
Yeah.
And now it's 2021. We're looking at 12 years, and it's already worth $46,000.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, I think Apple's the only company that's kind of fucked with those numbers, and Apple's right now, one stock is only worth, I think,
150.
Yeah.
Something.
So, I mean, you're looking at the stock market of an emerging company, which Apple technically came out actually years ago. Almost 30 years ago or whatever, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're looking at those numbers. They went up from cents to $150. And now you're looking at Bitcoin, which is something that went from cents to 46,000. So you look at just the comparison of market, return on investment, just the market, and you're seeing that stock market has no comparison of any stock option that was ever going to give you that amount of money. Maybe if somebody had some percentage, like, oh yeah, this stock market back then came out and it was almost like 14% increase, but it went from like, not even a damn cent to like a couple cents. So I really think that that's just amazing.
That's cool to hear it from your perspective. I didn't think about it yet. Yeah, the return on investment is insane. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Should we end it there then? I think that was
Oh yeah, fuck, forgot.
yeah, just so we don't keep this. Yeah, I know you'll edit it, but
But yeah, man, that I think that was from my perspective. I think that you had a lot to say, man. I really appreciate you coming out here and telling me everything you had to say, because it's not it's a lot of your time and stuff like that. And plus a lot of this stuff is new. It's new, and I know that you want to share it out, man. I really hope that you continue to share your thing and you continue to earn money,
yeah, no, thank you. There's a lot more. I think that you're inquisitive, and as these questions come up, feel free to DM me. Anyone can find me on Twitter. I'm mostly on Twitter as Sideline Latino. We know each other. You could always text me. It's I think the deeper you go in the rabbit hole, the more you're going to learn, the more questions you're going to have and you want resolved. And just hit me up, because this is going to be taking off, and if it's not already in the news, it's going to be in the news more and more. I'm happy to share this with you, the small community. I like I said, I want to bring everyone with me. This is such a niche thing that people only know, and just inspire. If I'm giving back, this is how I'm giving back. So
yeah, it's really like it's almost like a new technology hitting. Like I said, like when Apple came out with the iPhones, everyone was buying on, and that's a piece of commodity that just melts away in your hand, and you gotta buy the new version. I mean, you're talking about Bitcoin. That's actually feels like something that it's not. It's something of money that just doesn't just go away, with time. It's something that you really can buy, and it's going to give you something in return. And it's actually like a talkable thing, and anybody can get into it. That's the crazy part. At this time, stock market, only rich people got into that.
Yeah.
Or people with the stock options. Now you're looking at a future.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you. You opened my eyes, man.
Yeah.
I really hope that this podcast helps other people to do it. It's not hard. And it was cool to buy my first Bitcoin with you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was cool. I even showed you. Let's see if it's in the Moon wallet.
All right. This is the result. If it's not in the Moon wallet, nobody's gonna buy Bitcoin.
Oh, it's not there yet.
Oh, it's there. All right. Let's get
It's not there yet.
It's not there.
Yeah. It's still pending. It's still pending on 1259 on Cash App.
But we know that it's definitely a lot faster than the bank.
Yeah.
I know that.
I went a slow route. Yeah, I could do it. Actually, it is a little slower. I could have sent it Rush. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That was legit, man. I really appreciate the talk. Thank you for coming on the Just Call It podcast. Sideline Latino is his Twitter line, at Sideline Latino. He's anonymous. He's a strapping man. He's officially 6 feet today.
Thanks,
man. He's gonna be the Batman of Bitcoin. He's gonna stay anonymous, like the mask. And man. Thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you, Sideline Latino. I almost call your name.
For sure, man.
For coming through, bro, and chatting it up with me today, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
Thank you, everybody on the podcast. Thank you so much.